Looks like we are seeing more weakness in the market. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky talking about solutions, and don't get me wrong, market is in the green. NASDAQ is up 1.4% so far, and at one point we were up nearly 2%. So yes, market was showing signs of a potential recovery. I'm just going to share with you, in my opinion, why I do not think that the market will literally have the grit to just continue to actually make new highs. And that's the biggest thing, is that if the market is not making new highs, then why does it even matter, right? From where we're at as of right now. If we look at this overall strong descending pattern, we've been consistently selling off. And again, the market's officially almost entering a bear market territory. With that being said, market did try to push up just like it has in the past before, ultimately to just end up getting rejected. Today's Friday, we're going into a weekend. And what was just reported that caused the market to significantly drop, I don't think that, again, the market will be able to shake off. We had the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. Normally not a super important report, but again, it missed in all categories. When it came down to expectations, sentiment, and conditions came out much lower than what was expected. Again, there is fear in the market. I do not think anything that gets reported today that might be in the most minute way good news will be able to trump this. U.S. stock market loses $5 trillion in just 3 weeks of trading. Again, there is an insane amount of fear that is being injected into the market. So if you think that, again, it makes sense to go long today, be my guest. Again, but from the highs that we made, if we do not expect to make new highs, then why would you buy into the dip of anything, right? Especially knowing that the overall sentiment of the market is more bearish than bullish. And yes, although it did have a nice uptick, that is great for those that bought yesterday and that held a position that were able to sell today. As of right now, the market's showing signs of lower highs, lower lows, more weakness. And once we break the support, we all know what's going to happen. Then that selling pressure will eventually end up following and the markets will end up correcting themselves. I want to show you a trade that I took this morning. And again, it was a super simple setup. It kind of brings me back to the old days. So SQQQ goes up when the NASDAQ market goes down. It's not shorting, but it's a bear ETF, meaning that it's an inverse ETF. It does the opposite of whatever the NASDAQ market does times 3. It's a triple leverage ETF. This is not an ETF that you want to buy and hold for a long period of time. Again, this is just a way that I was able to buy into the dip when I saw NASDAQ market lacking progress on the upside. So when it was overbought, lacking progress on the upside, showing signs of resistance, instead of shorting QQQ, all I did was I bought SQQ. And as it began to indicate signs of an uptrend, I added then more to it. It became overbought. I took profits. Again, a super simple trade, nothing to it. Anyone could have done this. It doesn't require any special indicator. It just simply requires understanding overbought and oversold levels, respecting ranges, and knowing when to enter, add more, and take profits when it makes sense. I made a total of $1,800, and just so you could see, I closed out my entire trade. I have one open share on this position, just my one lucky share, and other than that, that's it. Now what I'm waiting for is for the NASDAQ market to decide. I think markets are going to sell off, but again, I do not know what's going to happen. I can't predict it. I'm not going to pretend like I can. I'm going to wait for that break of support. And once we get that break of support and I see a wave of selling pressure, then I'll jump back into SQQQ, or I'll end up shorting maybe Tesla, because Tesla's doing absolutely terrible today where it cannot catch a break. There is no signs of a recovery for this. And of course, if there's any stock that has a lot to lose, it's definitely Tesla, going from $488 per share down to $200. Again, it's very simple. It's not personal. I'm not attacking you. If you want to buy the dip, please be my guest. If that's your intention long term, that's great. I'm not talking about long term. I'm talking about today. If you're trying to make money today, I do not see how it makes any sense to try to buy into a dip that is still dipping when sentiment is still bearish. Now, again, if market direction ultimately ends up changing, then again, as long as price action supports what it is that you're trying to do, great. But as of right now, we're seeing lower highs, lower lows, so much weakness in the market. And if we break the support, get ready for NASDAQ to give it all back, right? On the 5-minute time frame, I think you could see it very beautifully. Right now, we're testing that moving average support. If we break that support, which is, again, still an if, it does not have to. It just, again, sentiment is more bearish than it is bullish. If we break the support right around 470, then again, we have a nice little leg down, probably down to 467, 465. So very excited to follow up. Just wanted to share my 2 cents with you guys and where I think it makes more sense and why the market was seeing so much selling pressure. Not only is the overall market concerned about how much it's lost in the past 3 weeks, but also the sentiment today. Consumer sentiment report came out, and that's why we saw such a substantial drop within such a short period of time, and simply because things are looking bad. And that's it. You don't have to overcomplicate it. It's not personal. It's not attacking you. Remember, markets will eventually end up recovering long term. It's just right now, conditions are bearish. So if you want to make money today, respect the trend. That's all it is that we have to say. So appreciate your time. Hope they're into thumbs up. And again, I traded live today with my LPP team. They get to watch me trade live every single day. If you feel lost in this market full of chaos and you think watching me trade live can be that missing piece of the puzzle, I'd love to invite you. Second link in the description down below. It literally breaks down to $1.35 per day with the current sale we have going on. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. Second link in the description down below. So I hope to see you there for our Monday live trading session. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.